right, should we do it?
Ooh.
Up, guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Two Honks podcast. The only podcast on the internet. My name is Joe Little, and sitting here to my left is Lamar Costin.
Yay!
Yeah! How are we doing today, Lamar?
I'm doing pretty good. I think we should do a little explaining here.
Yeah, we should let the people know where we are.
Because our technology has changed a lot in the past couple podcasts. We didn't do video, then we did it remote.
We didn't do video.
Then we didn't do episodes for a few weeks.
Yeah.
We do whatever we want to do, basically.
We basically just do whatever we want.
We do what we want to do, and that's all you really need to know.
And that's the coolest thing about it.
I don't know what episode we're on. 58?
Yeah, 56 or 57, something like that.
We're just ripping. We're on the coast of St. Barge out here in Oregon.
Ripping off the coast with a bunch of spider monkeys.
Yeah, we're
tripping on acid, changing our whole perspective on shit.
We're basically in mosquito country, which we didn't get the memo on, but
we are. But it's windy. This is why we're not in the trees. This is why we're not in the shade, because if we stay in this wind corridor, we're free of the mosquitoes a little bit.
We're free in general, as people.
Mosquitoes are light creatures.
Yeah.
You know, they can't stand a bunch of wind. So that's why we're here.
We are out here. We came out here to the coast. First order of business was just to fight the tides.
Fighting the tides.
I mentioned that before. We're doing this.
As any regular listener of the show would know, fighting the tides is the most important aspect of what we've been doing lately.
Yeah.
Because it's been going on for a long time now that the tides are advancing.
Yeah,
no one's talking about
we're making a trip out here pretty regularly to fight the tides.
Yeah.
Nobody's really out here assisting us. But instead of just getting right to business, we actually had to fight the mosquitoes first. So it kind of was a good warm-up, honestly, to kind of get our karate chops in.
Yeah. A lot of mosquito karate chops.
Korean mosquito chops.
I don't care what anybody tells you. DEET-free bug repellent is bug repellent that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's basically like a cologne.
It smells terrible and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like Axe. You might as well have Axe body spray on you.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
You know? Does anybody use that anymore?
Why are these mosquitoes... Why is their whole purpose in life just to suck the blood out of other beings?
Yeah.
Isn't that awful?
I don't know. Like, I got a fat welt in my head.
Yeah.
Today.
Your whole face is a welt now.
Yeah.
It's welted.
It's just but you know, it's since you went out and got the DEETful stuff.
Yeah.
Life has gotten much better. You know?
It's not too bad. Yeah. I feel pretty good about it.
I feel all right about it.
I feel okay. Actually, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't feel great, actually.
You don't feel great?
I feel okay, but...
I think you should feel okay.
The thing is, DEET is like poison, so I kind of feel poisoned, is what I feel like, actually.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite.
A little bit.
But yeah, we were out there on the coast. The other thing that we're dealing with right now, we're taking a small break to do the podcast. We've been fighting the tides for 2 days now. The other thing we're having to deal with is the wind is a wassailing.
A wassailing wind.
The wind is a wassailing through the trees and whippling through the grasses and such. At such an enormous speed. The mosquitoes are using that as some kind of amusement ride.
Yeah.
I'm gathering.
So, and we talked about this wassailing.
Yeah.
You said wassailing makes you think of like the American West, like the prairies and the wind.
I think of like a bunch of kids just kind of running around singing and like dancing and stuff. Is that a wassail?
But, I mean, wassailing, maybe what I'm thinking of is wassail, because I thought it was like a medieval thing when like
wassail.
People in medieval times were singing and drinking and generally being merry.
Yeah.
That's what wassailing was. That's what I thought. But maybe it's pronounced wassail, and it's different than wassailing. This is a good question for you, the listener. I mean, is this a wassailing wind?
Does anybody know anything about words anymore?
how does anybody do anything anymore?
Yeah.
You know?
We're out here in nature. We don't have the internet or anything like that.
Yeah, we're here in just outside of Astoria, Oregon, in Fort Stevens.
Yeah.
State Park. Some would say it looks a little bit like Jurassic Park.
Pretty wild out here. Pretty hairy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. I was telling you earlier. I'm almost convinced. Like it's very convincing virtual reality that we're in.
Yes.
Especially this environment is really well done. Everything looks super sharp.
I was almost convinced that I wasn't living in a simulation there for a second. You know.
Yeah. So we were riding our bikes, and the wind was blowing through my hair.
And this is great because last year we did a camping episode. We did that episode for the kids.
We did it for the kids.
Yeah. But we didn't have any video for that one.
Right.
And we didn't have it, but now we do.
Joe Biden was listening in on our... Yeah. He sent the UFOs out that time, too.
It's when Elon Musk he was shooting off Starlink.
Yeah.
Musk was Starlinking.
Look how curved this stick is I just found.
Wow.
That's not convincing. That's not something nature does.
Yeah, that's not something that happens
maybe
in nature.
We found a little wormhole here.
Yeah.
That doesn't look real. That's not...
We found a glitch in the Matrix, guys.
So we rented these bikes from a lady, and I think we should probably tell her mostly convincing.
Mostly.
There's flowers everywhere.
We found a curved stick.
There's flowers.
And it didn't work.
The curved stick ruins everything. Look at that. Nature doesn't do that. Because it looks like a perfect circle if it kept going.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
There's no perfect circles in nature.
No, nature does all right angles. Everything in nature is right angles.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed.
But there's a couple of things. Okay, so we've been away for a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah. At least. Maybe 3.
And since the last one, I have injured my middle finger quite drastically.
Oh, yeah. You're like
I don't know if you can see that there.
A little bit deformed.
No. I was fixing a bicycle.
Yeah.
And I smashed my finger in a wheel. And now the interesting thing is not that I injured my finger.
Right. Because nobody cares about that.
That's not the interesting thing. The interesting thing that happened is when I
another
injured...
curved stick. Look at that.
Oh my God. Where are these coming from? But anyway, the interesting thing is that when I injured my finger, I thought that I had lost the tip of my finger.
Right.
Because there was a lot of blood. Like, this bled a lot.
Yeah.
And when that happened...
Uh-huh.
I then had a panic attack and thought that I was going to die.
Right.
And I sort of had an out-of-body experience for a second. And I fell to the floor, and my wife was standing there in front of me going, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay." But I wasn't in my body as she was saying, okay. I was like standing above myself,
right,
watching her tell me it's okay. And in that moment, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And I was very convinced. And here's the interesting thing.
That's your Achilles finger.
Yeah, it's my Achilles finger.
That is how you die.
Exactly.
It's how people die sometimes.
Exactly. But here's the interesting thing, is there was a feeling of peace.
Yeah.
In that moment that I thought I was going to die, and it was just like, well, this is it.
Yeah.
You know?
Game over.
Everybody thinks that, you'd be in a moment of panic. You'd be, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But once you realize that the grip of life is just slipping away from you, it's just, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah.
There it goes. It was an interesting moment.
Yeah.
I wasn't concerned about my finger after a minute. I was more concerned about, like, my heart, because I thought it was going to stop.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't.
Because it was beating so fast, or because you weren't in your body to beat it?
Just because I wasn't in my body to make my heart beat, Because there's those systems of nature that are involuntary, right? Like your breath, your your lungs filling up with oxygen,
Yeah.
Your your blood pumping through your bloodstream. You know,
the formation of a bébé in a womb.
Yeah,
is not something we think about.
Exactly,
it just happens.
It's involuntary. It's just something that happens. But if you're not in your body, then those things might stop.
They might, but they probably won't,
know?
Because your body does all those things already.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like our cells and stuff. They divide and specialize and whatnot. And
and you're a completely new person every 7 years.
Yeah,
and
we're just like, the simulation's really real. Oh, this simulation feels real. And meanwhile, you're, I think this is convincing. Look at the colors, they're really bright.
I think I'm going to get a job at Wendy's.
Yeah, I think I'm going to tell my boss to go shove it.
You know?
And meanwhile, your body's like replicating cells and like making more liver cells or whatever.
I think we go to the store and buy a soda pop.
I like chocolate.
And your body's like regenerating cells and
your body's doing all these miracles.
Exactly. Howdy.
Your heart just keeps beating and you're just like, I think I ate too much chocolate. I'm dying.
I think I need to stop eating so much tuna fish.
Oh, my tummy hurts now. I gotta take a nap now. Your body just keeps working and doing the things it does.
It's complex.
We're just
systems of nature.
Yeah.
And you're just, I think I'm going to watch Seinfeld.
I don't know if I think life's fake.
I can't afford Disney Plus anymore.
Yeah, I already saw this episode. It's like we kind of are just like passengers on the ride in our body.
We sort of are.
And we think we're like in control, but we don't actually do any of these things, you know?
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're doing more than good.
Yeah.
That guy's on a podcast episode now.
Yeah, well, you know, and I mean, we're sitting here along a very... I'd say this is a popular trail.
I guess it is. I mean, when we came down here, we've seen a couple people coming through here.
We've seen a couple people using it.
I kind of thought nobody was going to come out here.
Yeah.
I was going to be nude for this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I can't do that, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but, and you know, I think people are wondering what we're doing, but I think that they don't realize that they're living in a simulation. So
yeah,
I'm wondering what they're doing. Really,
we should have been like, "Are you okay, dude?"
That's my big thing. Yeah.
Are you okay, dude? Because I'm not convinced anymore now.
Yeah,
you know, because look at the curved sticks everywhere.
Yeah,
you know, let's point those things out. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the mosquitoes have stopped biting. Suspicious.
It's very strange.
Yeah, one time they're just attacking us from all angles, and now I don't see a single one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a little odd.
Yeah, we tried to find a spot in the woods earlier, and they just kind of came out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't care for them. I don't trust them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
How can you trust something that just, against your will, without consent...
Yeah.
takes your blood from you?
Yeah.
Like, if that was a friend of yours, would you think you'd still be friends with them?
Yeah. Every time a mosquito tries to do that to me, I say, hey, guess what? I didn't ask to be alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, guess what? We're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
Mosquito.
I didn't ask to be here. You know?
Yeah. And they didn't ask for your blood.
They didn't no consent.
You just take
involved.
You just take I guess that's how it is now. We just take what we want.
They just take whatever.
Well, I guess that's what we do now. We just take whatever we want then. I guess I thought we had a society here.
Explain to me what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on?
I thought we had a society we were running in, and we had rules.
Yeah.
And we can't just take things.
Now all of a sudden these mosquitoes.
Yeah, they get a free pass. I'll just take whatever I want now because I'm a mosquito.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, that's fine. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start doing that.
No.
I'm going to start taking people's blood.
Exactly.
And money. I'm going to take their blood and their money and their blood money.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I eat money for breakfast.
Yeah. I would eat it. I'll take your money and I'll eat it. I don't care. I'll wipe my nose on it.
And your blood.
Yeah, wipe your blood on my nose.
Side of tater tots. Tell you what's wrong.
Why do we have a different set of rules as humans?
Yeah.
When we're also living in the same world.
Yeah, we're in the process of nature. We're in an integrated process of nature.
Yeah.
It's It's very complex.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me.
And if one species gets to just snag your blood whenever the fuck it wants, why am I living by all these rules?
Yeah. Well, and I didn't want to bring up poop again, but I'm going to have to. If these other animals are pooping wherever they want,
Yeah.
why is it that we have to do something different?
I saw a squirrel this morning. It just pooped where it was. It was just standing right there, and it just went.
Right. That sounds great. I want to do that.
Why do we have to follow these rules?
Maybe we don't have to. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm done with it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
How about that?
You know?
How about that?
I hope that nobody's legitimately worried about us.
Yeah.
Because we're fine.
I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
It's fine. We're fine.
I'm fine.
You're fine. It's fine.
I think this is going to go down in history as the most interesting episode of the Two Honks podcast.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what I'm looking at here, you know?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you can't see everything that the simulation is showing us here.
Exactly.
It's a lot of flower. I think they overdid it with the flowers.
Yeah.
A little bit too much with that.
Too much with the flowers.
Like a couple here and there is fine, but they're literally, these yellow flowers are just like everywhere.
I'm not convinced.
It's like they copy and pasted them.
I am not convinced.
Maybe cut down on the copy
Maybe
and
quit
paste.
copying and pasting.
Yeah, maybe maybe less is more sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe just a sprinkle, then you appreciate it more than if it's like everywhere like that.
And the skies, the blue skies. Can we get a cloud or two in there?
Not buying it anymore.
Not convinced, man.
I'm not even buying that at all.
Not convinced. Isn't this supposed to be the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah, I thought we were...
I didn't know this was the northwest corner of heaven. I didn't think we were there.
I got a question for you, too. And we were talking about this because when we were fighting the tides, a woman got out of her Tesla.
Yes.
And she was wearing a full... down to her ankles.
Down to her ankles.
Like a down coat.
Yeah, very thick coat.
And we were like, well, what's going on here? Is she going to see the polar bear exhibit or whatever?
She's going to the ice caves. I think she knew where the ice caves were.
So there's supposedly ice caves around. Everybody else is wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And
somewhere in this simulation, there's ice caves.
Yeah, and I don't see how that's feasible.
Yeah.
But she said she was trying to go to Antarctica. But she was
walking the wrong way.
She was walking towards Arctica.
Yeah.
Right? Which is the other side. It's the north part.
Yeah.
That's the northern continent.
That's the northern Arctica.
There's one on top and there's one on the bottom.
If you're going for Antarctica, you're going to want to go southward.
Yeah.
She was going northbound.
It looked like she knew what she was talking about.
At an incredible speed, too.
Yeah. If you're going to Antarctica...
Howdy there.
Hi there.
If you're going to Antarctica, you want to bring you don't want to bring a coat like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you
don't bring shorts. If you're going to Arctica, then you bring your coat.
Yeah.
So I was like, is she confused? Because you're not going to find polar bears in Antarctica.
Yeah.
You got to go to Arctica for that.
Well, and then I did get to ask her if we could borrow a snowmobile, and she did have a snowmobile.
Yeah, well,
she did have a snowmobile for us.
Right, and those do work on sand
that
somehow.
was good.
That's a good. That was a good time.
That was a good.
That was a good and fun.
That was a
time.
good day.
We had fun at the beach.
That was a good day.
We fought the tide, and that was good.
It was good.
It's a good time.
Day. I'm looking at a hawk right now.
Oh,
you
shoot.
See that?
You think it's eyeballing us?
I think it's looking at me.
I think it might be scoping it.
Maybe it'll come down here. Hey, you want to be a guest on the Two Honks podcast?
Yeah, it's thinking about it.
Yeah. You know?
We might have to fight him.
Hey, I heard that hawk was a guest on the Two Honks podcast last week.
Yeah, that's different, but...
Come out to the Two Honks podcast.
Two hawks.
Yeah, but that's just one hawk.
Yeah. Maybe he's looking for the friend.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, I feel like we should take an intermission.
We're going to take a little break here.
It's about intermission time.
It's just, I've become aware that that's what we're doing.
Yes.
So we're going to take a break, and we'll get right back into it.
Yeah, we'll get right back with her.
Yeah, we'll check it out in a second here.
Okay. So we're back.
And we're back.
And for this, we wanted to tell the story of the first time we came to Fort Stevens State Park.
Yeah. It's probably about 2014er.
That was a 2014er. That was a 2014er there, Bob.
We got a 2014er coming out here. We rented one yurt.
Yeah, we rented one yurt, and we had about...
One night, one yurt.
How many people?
We had I think we had at least 7 people.
At least 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a couple of wing people that didn't. I mean, we'll get to the long and short of it, but
key characters here.
Yeah.
There's me. There's you.
There's me. I was there.
Our techno friend.
Yeah.
An old roommate of mine and his girlfriend at the time.
Your roommate's a bluegrassman. He's a bluegrassman.
Yeah. That's a very important part to note.
He's an acoustic man. He likes
an acoustic man.
He likes old timey acoustic music.
Exactly. Well, and what was the origin? What was the reason that we even had this many people going? Because you had a yurt rented.
Yeah. I don't know why.
It was with your girlfriend at the time, and then something happened, and she couldn't go. She couldn't make it,
and I was like, I'll just go with the band, right?
Yeah.
Me, you, our bass player Dan.
Yeah.
And a couple of his friends.
Yeah.
So we had a real gaggle of a hodgepodge, a motley crew, if you will.
Yeah.
Of people, I think you will, of people.
Yeah.
And your friend, the bluegrassman.
The bluegrassman.
I kind of knew very briefly from just practicing at your house.
Yeah.
And I didn't know his girlfriend at the time at all.
Yeah.
Right.
But they came out.
Right.
And the evening, it started innocently enough.
Oh yeah, we had great intentions.
We
we planned on doing on taking some mushrooms.
Yeah, we rolled up. We ate psychedelic mushrooms, and there was a family camp in the yurt next to us,
right?
Who had a few kids with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked them if they would like the mushrooms.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we don't want the mushrooms. Our kids get excited. Our kids get too excited.
Our kids don't like tripping that much.
Our kids don't like doing psychedelic drugs, so we're not going to do that.
Kids are allergic to psilocybin mushrooms.
To psilocybin mushrooms.
But they said no thank you.
Yeah, they said no thank you.
No thanks.
Very politely.
Yeah.
I might add. They're wonderful people.
Really kind.
Very kind people.
Unfortunately, that was the only time we saw them again.
Yes. But anyway, so we get into the yurt. We're listening to some music.
Yeah.
And it's our techno friend,
right,
who is doing the DJing, if you will.
It was a little bit. It was one of these.
Yeah. It was a good 125.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good 125.
808s at 125.
808, 128, 125.
Yeah. And the bluegrassman, my old roommate, chimes in. And at this point, he was hitting the bottle like it was going out of style.
Now, Can we
talk about this?
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Are we allowed to talk? Are people talking about this?
Did he bring his banjo? I think he brought his banjo.
Yes, he brought a banjo.
So picture a banjoman and a technoman in the same room. Both very strong personalities. One getting very inebriated.
Volatile.
Okay, with a certain liquid in a bottle, unknown origin.
Yes.
So that's the setup here, and keep in mind, Joe and I had brought art supplies because we're innocent. We're artists. We like to talk about creativity.
We're going to be creative.
We're going to go into the yurt.
We're going to use the yurt to be creative.
We're going to take the mushrooms. We're going to go to the ocean. We're going to watch the water.
Yeah.
Come back, and we're going to make art and talk about creativity.
Yes.
Because that's what we do.
Because that was our intention.
That's what we had.
That was our intention with the universe.
That was a beautiful plan that we had.
Beautiful plan.
So in this first moment, the first couple minutes of being inside the yurt, the techno is playing.
Yes.
The banjoman is not having it. He's not
happy.
Not enjoying that.
He was not happy.
Yeah.
And he goes up to the technoman and he says, "This is not real music."
Right. This is bullshit.
And our techno friend comes back with, and his argument was somewhere along the lines of, "No, you don't understand, because this is the future."
Right.
You know?
Your old-timey music is old bullshit.
And here's the thing.
What he said.
Both arguments have merit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
There's no right. I mean, music is in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no right or wrong, people. Okay?
It's in the ears of the eye holder.
It's in the ears of the eye holes.
That's what my grandma always used to say.
Yeah, it's in your ear holes of the beholder.
Mm-hmm. So the conversation was getting volatile. Bluegrassman was starting to get very drunk.
It was getting hot.
And also important to note here is Bluegrassman's girlfriend was very worried that Bluegrassman was going to drink too much, so she started to drink the whiskey bottle that Bluegrissman had brought
and that's what
as
you
well.
do if you love someone.
Yeah.
You know?
If you don't want them to drink too much, you need to go drink too much yourself.
You need to get wasted as fast as possible.
And you need to eat an eighth of mushrooms, because they also did that with us.
Yeah, you need to eat them. You got to do that.
So,
you got to do that.
So you and I, we're playing referee at this point.
We're trying to diffuse the situation because they didn't pay any money for this, by the way. They just showed up out of the goodwill of our hearts.
Yes.
And we're like, hey, let's diffuse the situation. Let's go take a walk, right?
Yeah.
To the water.
Let's go walk to the ocean.
Let's go take the walk to the holy waters that God gave us.
And we got out. We got everybody out.
We did get out.
So everybody left, and I mean, the neighbors didn't have to complain anymore, so they probably enjoyed those moments that we were gone.
I think that Benjamin and his girlfriend stayed behind, and we all went to the water, right?
Well, they
didn't come with us.
Benjamin and his girlfriend did join us.
They did.
They walked. They left the yurt maybe about a minute or two after we did.
Okay, they didn't want to be part of our group.
They were close behind.
They were not interested in us.
Yeah, they were not interested.
Because of our techno friend.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There was already bad blood there.
It was, we're off to a rocky start, but, we're thinking we can patch this up. Yeah. It's just an old beat-up ship, put a couple of inner tubes, a couple 2x4 baseball card in there.
Yeah.
It'll patch together some bubble gum.
And at this point, the Bluegrissman and his girlfriend basically ceased to exist to us. We were like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, we kind of forgot.
We went on our walk.
They'll be fine. They're doing their own thing. And they were kind of fighting, right, at the same time.
Yeah, they were also kind of, I don't know what they were arguing about.
They were bickering a little bit. It's like, let's give them a little space here.
Yeah. But we all walked to the ocean together. Sans Bluegrissman and his girlfriend, they were doing their own thing.
Right.
This is where it got interesting, because we all got to the ocean together, and it was very windy at the ocean.
Right.
And we all wanted to partake in the smoking of cannabis.
Well, because we were tripping balls.
Yes.
Our balls.
We were tripping on our balls.
And that's what you do when you're tripping balls and you're smoking the ganja, is that you then you imbibe it.
Yes.
Right, through your lungs.
Well, and it was very complicated because we wanted to smoke.
Yeah.
And it was windy.
Right.
And anybody who's ever tried to use a lighter in the wind knows
that's not how it works.
It's not. The lighter doesn't like that well when it's windy.
No.
So we're standing in a circle of maybe 6 of us, about shoulder to shoulder.
We're also standing on the top of the dunes, the windiest possible part of the beach.
And one of us has the bag of weed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we had a bag of weed.
And one of us has the grinder.
There's a grinder.
Another one has the bowl.
There's a bowl. There's 4 people.
Yeah.
There was 4 people.
And someone else is holding the lighter.
Somebody's got a lighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure out who was going to hold what to make the process happen.
Because you have to break the weed. You have to hold everything's blowing around in the wind.
Exactly. It's very windy. Keep in mind, we're standing shoulder to shoulder.
Trying to block the wind.
We're high, so we're not necessarily thinking
We don't even need to smoke weed because we're already too high.
Yeah, exactly. But we want to.
We still want to do it.
So, and the crux is like we're trying to figure out how to grind the weed. So you hold the grinder, you hold the weed, and you hold the bowl. But what about, so after I grind the weed and the weed is ground, how do I put it then into the bowl? It's so windy. How
are you going to transfer it?
And we were like, well, try to stand closer. And then once it's ground and it's in the bowl and you have the lighter, how do you get the lighter to light so it actually lights the bowl because it's so windy? So
who's going to block the wind?
We're standing even closer.
Yeah.
And we never even figured it out.
The wind took the weed away from us.
Yeah.
And I believe we just kind of turned around and we were like, well,
we just gave up.
That's not going to happen.
That was the end of that.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore.
So we admitted defeat.
Yeah, it was a very long and drawn out process. Nothing came of it.
Exactly. And that's when we started walking back.
I did stare at the ocean for a few minutes on my own, probably prior to the weed shenanigans. And I remember seeing a staircase from the wave. It created a staircase to heaven. And I remember thinking, wow,
staircases.
This is really pretty awesome metaphor.
It was very profound at the time.
Pretty profound. I was like, this is pretty neat. Hey, that's a cool thing I just saw.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let's get the hell out of here.
The processes of nature.
Yeah, I was like, hey, nature's pretty cool. Let's go back to the yurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or let's go walk back.
Yeah. So we start walking back. And who do we hear but Bluegrissman?
Bluegrissman in the distance, yeah.
and he is screaming, "Help!"
Yeah, kind of a blood-curdled. Somebody just died kind of
Blood-curdling,
scream.
"Help! Help! Help!" And here we are, just panicked, you know,
Right,
like
we're tripping on our balls.
yeah, we're tripping on our own balls,
And we're sprinting and tripping even more.
exactly.
Right? I remember a Technoman had a nice IPA that we
Yes.
were kind of passing back and forth. It was like a vintage of some sort that was like a really nice one.
Yeah.
So we're doing like tiny sips of it. Kind of just enjoying the flavor, really. Just,
Yeah.
just spitting it out after. Just kind of like
That's
swirling it around
I mean,
a
because
bit.
when we were drinking alcohol, that's the way we did it for.
We're
Was
dignified.
the flavor.
I like the flavor
We were
of it. I
flavor
don't like to
people.
get drunk.
Yeah, no.
I'm a
It
flavorman.
was never about getting drunk.
Yeah.
It was always about the flavor.
Right. So we begin jogging.
We began running.
Technoman actually was in the front of the pack.
And we're here thinking somebody had a heart attack.
Somebody lost
Somebody
a limb.
broke a
right?
leg.
Yeah, somebody's head is missing.
Yes.
Hey, my head fell off.
And it turns out
We get there.
Bluegersman and his girlfriend just got too drunk.
They were really drunk, and she was very dehydrated. They didn't bring any water with them.
Yeah.
Big mistake there.
Yeah.
It had probably been an hour or so, right?
Well, yeah, and this is where Bluegersman starts yelling at us.
Right.
And excuse me for acting this out maybe a little bit emphatically, but he was saying, "She needed water.
Mm-hmm.
She said she needed some fucking water. Why didn't you get her any fucking water?"
Right.
And I am not exaggerating.
Yeah, and we
I
didn't...
am not exaggerating. This is exactly the way he was talking to me.
Right. And if I remember correctly, we didn't bring any, we drank our water. We didn't have any extra water.
She never asked me for water.
She did not ask for water, but
Yeah.
she was...
I had water with me.
right.
I was drinking water.
You had some water,
Yeah.
but then we didn't have enough water to give her. So we basically had to do a trip back.
Yeah.
And she was in a pretty bad way. She was vomiting a lot.
Vomiting a lot.
She
and
was
very loud.
like kind of, she was like choking on her. She wasn't laying on,
Yeah.
he wasn't putting her in the recovery position.
Yeah.
So she was like could have been aspirating her vomit, which
Yeah.
is not good.
She was very much so just laying on her back.
Yeah.
And he's just like trying to dump the water as she's laying on her back. It's like,
Right. He was trying to pour it into her as she was trying to breathe.
Yeah.
It was
And screaming at us while he's doing it, mind you.
Yeah, it was
She's laying on her back.
not
He's
a good situation.
dumping water down her throat as she's choking on the water, and he's screaming, "Why didn't you get her water?"
Right.
And it's like, well, I think you're trying to murder her.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
I think that maybe was what was happening.
Yeah, I think
in
that was.
retrospect.
I think we were witnessing a murder, really.
Attempted murder.
But anyway, they couldn't walk, right?
Right. She could not
We
stand.
couldn't even get them back to the yurt.
There was no chance. So
Yeah.
I split off with Technoman,
Yes.
and you guys must have stayed there. And we went back.
We stayed behind.
We went back to the yurt and got some water and his car. Get in the car, and Technoman, before he turns the car on. I feel like it's very late. You said it was probably like not that. It was definitely dark.
It was like 10 o'clock.
It was dark out.
It was not late at all yet.
But
And they were already just blasted. They were gone.
blackout blast.
Yes.
So he turned the car on, and what does Technoman do? Of course, Technoman has to find the right techno song.
He finds the right song.
You got to find the right song before you attempt something like that.
Yeah.
So we sat there for about a couple minutes, and he found the perfect song.
Yeah.
And put it on. It was a very dark, kind of French techno song. It was very, very dark and like minimal.
Yeah.
And it was perfect it was night driving in the woods. It was perfect. It felt creepy. It felt like a creepy, kind of cool song. Creepy, cool techno.
Yeah, creepy cool.
Creepy, cool techno. And we cruised at kind of a chill speed. He wasn't in any hurry. He was enjoying it. We were enjoying the tunes, man.
exactly.
We were just cruising in the woods.
Yeah,
We're tripping our balls off. And we're driving in the woods, tripping our
time.
balls off.
You know?
Tripping off on our balls.
Yeah.
And just enjoying the tunes, man.
enjoying ourselves.
Enjoying the tunes, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So we kind of cruise up there. I don't know why the campground there wasn't that many people around.
Yeah.
Anyways, we cruise over there. We pick her up. We throw her in the front seat.
Yeah.
She's puking out the window the whole time.
The whole time.
ride back.
Whole drive.
I'm in the driver's the passenger seat on the back,
Yeah.
driver's side, and the Benjamin's sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
And he is, at this point, tripping on his balls also.
Yeah.
And he's totally wasted.
Banjo Bluegrassman.
Tripping and wasted.
Wasted. And punching.
And angry. Very, very angry.
Punching.
And he started punching the seat.
Punching like a rabbit.
Like where she's sitting. Like punching at her back region.
With this look in his eye.
And he looks over at me.
And
he looks over at me. He starts frothing like, ah. And I was legit.
That whole thing.
I was a little bit scared.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Exactly.
I was a little bit frightened.
It was a scary moment.
I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Where does my art project fit into all this?
Exactly.
I'm thinking
trying to figure out.
I'm thinking about my paints, my colors, my
what's
shapes.
happening. Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried about our art night not happening anymore. Mm-hmm. We get back to the yurt, okay? We put her in the yurt. You sleep it off.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
You're just
exactly.
a kid.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be able
Drink
to
some
sleep.
water.
And was there any sleep?
I was thinking like an hour or two, she'd be back. She'd be fine.
Yeah.
Partying again. I remember after that, we wandered around the campgrounds a little bit.
Yeah.
Just still tripping on our balls.
Yeah, tripping on our balls. We wandered around the campsites for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we came back.
We get back, we're ready for art night, right? Now it's time for arts.
Yeah.
Okay. And a campfire. How about that? Sounds pretty nice.
And they are still in a full occupy moment. They're occupying the yurt.
I don't know.
We don't get to use the yurt. She's just throwing up in a bucket the whole time.
She was puking in and out of the bucket all night, and it did not stop until the sun came up. It was like a...
The whole night. That's all you heard was... Oh, the neighbors heard it.
Everybody.
We didn't even get to sleep in the yurt. We had to sleep in your...
We didn't even want to be near the yurt.
Yeah.
So we went to our cars.
Yeah.
And slept in the cars.
We slept in our cars.
No campfire. No art.
Yeah.
No yurt. No fun.
Yeah, the whole night was robbed from us.
It was the biggest disaster I think I've ever experienced.
It was the largest disaster, but here's the success of that.
Yeah.
Well, for one, it created a great story.
It's a good story.
It's a good story.
That's a good one.
It's a very good story.
That's a good story.
And it created the story, and also nobody complained.
Right.
We had no park rangers come by.
Nobody did.
The family in the yurt next to us didn't.
Oh, good. No. What were they thinking was going on in there?
They didn't make a peep.
Did they think it was some kind of a sex party going on in there?
Nothing.
I mean,
nothing happened.
They just took a bunch of mushrooms and are having sex with this one person.
Like the
sounded like she was giving birth to a child.
Yeah, the analogy that I like to think of is like, imagine you go into the woods and you get like your left foot wet, and instead of like being like, oh shit, this sucks, you're like, fucking why did this happen?
Why is it happening to me?
Everybody needs to stop what they're doing and help me.
Yeah, it was a little bit dramatic, I'd say that.
But the night was robbed from us, and we were a little bit upset at the time.
I thought she might die.
Exactly.
When we first saw her, because she looked like she had alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, I think she did.
It looked like she might not make it.
I think she probably did have alcohol poisoning.
We might need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Where is that? We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You idiot.
Yeah, I don't know where the hospital is.
Oh, I asked her that. I was like, where's the hospital, you idiot?
Yeah, exactly.
And she didn't even...
Water.
She was just like...
Water.
That's the most drunk I think I've ever seen anybody.
Yeah, that's the most drunk I've ever seen anybody as well.
Pretty awful.
And well, the night was robbed from us. It did give us a good story.
We got a good one out of that.
And now this is our first time
we're back
returning.
We needed to simmer on that for a while.
Yeah.
We're back, and we decided to do 2 nights this time in case one night got ruined somehow.
Yep.
And it's been pretty good.
It's been
pretty good.
Nobody drank an entire bottle of liquor and ruined everybody's time.
We don't even drink anymore.
Nobody got in anybody's way, so we're good.
We did. We also didn't invite a bunch of random people this time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that was the key difference.
Yeah, key difference.
We're really smart now. We're smart and we're wise and we're cool and smart and funny.
And we're funny and awesome.
And we're really humble too.
We're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.